Hey everyone, you are listening to Beyond the Ring podcast, and this is the NXT Takeover 36 review. And guys, before we get into this review, please make sure to like, share, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content like this. And we have the first match in this show. I actually watched the pre-show after the main show, and the pre-show, the match was Ridge Holland versus Trey Baxter. This was a squash match, and this was just to have a victory and elevate him because Ridge Holland just joined the new team of Pete Dunne. So yeah, so that was this was nothing match. Holland got the victory with a brainbuster, and that was it. We get to the main show. Main show actually kicked off with the first match. Cameron Grimes was LA Knight for the $1 million championship, where the stipulation was if Grimes loses, then Ted DiBiase would be the new butler for LA Knight. And this was a really fun match, so entertaining, and the wrestling was very fun as well. And the crowd, the whole crowd into this event was very great, and they actually had reactions in every match, and they loved the match, and they were showing that respect to the performers, and that was great. The whole mood around the show was great, and I liked it. And this was a different kind of a take, for unlike we have seen, because such a short act, as well as and not a very even though we had a big match. Samoa Joe returned. Samoa Joe's first match after 2019, 2020 Feb 2020, he had a last match. So this was a pretty big thing for Samoa Joe, and that NXT Championship match as well. So we see that it's a big thing, but even though that top to bottom, the undercard looked like a kind of a didn't kind of look like a very big kind of a card where we expect a takeover kind of thing. But this pay-per-view was fantastic. I mean, it was an awesome pay-per-view. It was a great show. Again, this was a really fun, entertaining. In the ending of the show, we have involvement of Ted DiBiase as well as he actually that. Logged in that $1 million dream submission, and even Cameron Grimes also had some try as well. And last in the last segments was good in this match, and it was a really fun, entertaining match, and really loved the match. Like they opened with this was Grimes getting the victory with a cave-in storm for the victory, and a very good looking cave-in that he had in this match. And Cameron Grimes defeated LA Knight via pinfall to become the new $1 million champion, and that was good. And we get to the second match, Raquel Gonzalez Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's Championship. And going into this match, I had a kind of I thought that this would be a good match, but I didn't thought about this would really surpass my expectation, because I really loved this match. I mean, better than good, I would say. It was a really great match, and the way they actually had the psychology, the big versus small person kind of storyline, and Dakota Kai using every opportunity to escape from the bigger man, and bigger person, and the bigger person using their strength to dominate the small person. That was such a great story they told here. And this was a really fun, as well as story they told in the ring was great. And one of the women's match that I really loved in a short while in NXT, I would say that. And NXT didn't have I mean, after Io Shirai actually dropped the title, they didn't have kind of a I mean, classic matches that Io Shirai actually put up in every pay-per-view. That wasn't the case after Raquel Gonzalez became the champion. But this was great, and this was really awesome, I would say that. And in the ending of this match, the ending actually was so good. And actually Gonzalez was caught the kick and dragged Kai to the rope for a super Chingora bomb. But she was going for that kick. She actually caught the kick and dragged Kai to the top rope for that Chingora bomb, and that was it for Kai. And post match, we have a debut from NXT UK. So a lot of NXT UK call up are coming to NXT, and I'm very happy that they are doing this, and it's a great opportunity for them, as well as for creative teams, as well as to book. And I think so maybe Raquel Gonzalez would be turning face, because Kaylee Ray just works very great, very good. She's a very good working heel, and the matches I have seen her matches, she's very good in the ring. And her match with Maiko Satomura was one of the best, I would say, and really good. And so I think so. Kaylee Ray would be the heel, and Raquel Gonzalez may be the baby face going forward. And I think so Dakota Kai may be the one who actually is going to call up. And this was my prediction, and that was I hope that maybe if they could drag down this storyline. I mean, this is kind of a heel turn store, front heel turn kind of thing. So they could have, but they are not doing it. I mean, going forward, Kaylee Ray versus Raquel Gonzalez is the thing. Super awesome match, really good match, great match. And we get to the third match, Walter versus Ilya Dragunov for the NXT UK Championship. The match I was very looking forward to, and all have the eyes on this match. And this match actually stole the show, and this was the match of the night, and some say match of the year, and even you can say match of the month, match of the week, anything, guys. And this actually stole this whole weekend, you can say. In any pay-per-view, you can see SummerSlam or this as well. I mean, AEW Rampage, I mean Dynamite as well. Anything you can compare it. No, you can nothing compare with this match. This was such a great match, and this had a story because this is the second match, such a lot importance. And Ilya Dragunov playing his character perfectly. His motivation is great, and his to win the championship and finally dethroning this monster kind of a 800-day reign. And that's a great story that NXT has had told in a while, I would say. And I mean, this is the NXT UK thing, but still it's under the NXT banner. And this was, I mean, effing fantastic. I mean, they actually I mean, tear apart the hell out of each other. I mean, so great, man. This is, I mean, it's so great. And you should watch this match. I mean, calling this match would be an understatement for me. I would not call this. And Ilya Dragunov finally defeated this monster Walter via submission, and the ending was also very dramatic. And he actually pulls him over and puts in the split, puts in the sleeper, and just wrench him into the back, and just picks him up and clubbing blows and strikes. So much of things it has at chops, and you know that how much of a hard chop they actually throw away. Man, this was the match of the night. And yeah. And we get to the next match, guys. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. And after watching this, I was kind of expecting which is the match which is going to surpass this match. I was very unsure if any match in the, I mean, this match as well as NXT Championship would be surpassing. I mean, I haven't had a very big expectation for the main event. And even though I thought about this would be that would be a great match, Samoa Joe, I mean, he's returning after a long time. So I was, in my opinion, I was kind of in a skeptical mode that how his performance would be. Is there any going to be a ring rust or something? So we get into that. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. This was a match. Match done very quickly, I would say. And I thought about that. It actually started after, uh, they had two matches kind of left. So I thought about, 45 minutes is left kind of in the show. I mean, yeah, so 1 hour 45 minutes is already over. So maybe they could be having cut down the matches. So this was the match actually cut down. I thought about that, if they could have dragged it down a little bit. The falls, I mean, having a close near falls and all, that would have been good. That's my opinion. But again, this was a different kind of a booking that they did, and had a fast pace. And Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly actually won the first fall in his traditional match, first pinfall, and he actually had a cradle pin. And after that, we had Adam Cole's street fight, and Adam Cole, even though Adam Cole's Adam Cole actually picked up the street fight, Kyle O'Reilly actually began with all the onslaught on him. Having this dustbin on to his head, and just throwing, just jumping onto it, and throwing the showing the things. I mean, we have seen that sequence. And that actually kind of was in a way kind of a writing of Adam Cole, because it really felt that Adam Cole is going to be this is going to be the last match for Adam Cole. And Adam Cole actually anyway got the second fall in the street fight, as he actually hit with him with the that chair that was set up into the ring, and both chairs were facing down, I mean facing each other, and he actually tossed away O'Reilly off the top rope and spine first into the chair, and that was a nasty, man. That was brutal spot that they did, and that would have been painful for O'Reilly, I'm very very sure. And Cole hit O'Reilly with the last shot, picking up the opportunity and get the second fall, and we are in the 1-1, and we are going to the steel cage match. So they actually had a little bit of time taken, I mean 1 minute or so, to kind of set up the steel cage, because at that moment they were showing all of the highlights from the start of the match, and I would not say that was bad, and that did shows how, I mean, how much of the story was being. I think it was okay, they did, and it was perfectly fine. It didn't go away much longer, and they did it very well. And in the ending of this match, we saw Cole actually had a super kick party on I mean O'Reilly, having handcuffed him to the top rope, and he was unable to escape from that. And Cole said he was king of undisputed era, and O'Reilly kind of Cole was again going for the super kick, but O'Reilly actually I mean, holds the knee and dragged to the Cole down with a heel hook, and heel hook made Cole tap out to submission. The ending, I would say, this is a submission maneuver of I mean O'Reilly, and the finisher is from the top rope, that knee into the back. That was also being done in that steel cage format. That was also great, but they didn't have much of an offense on Adam. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly didn't have much of an offense on Adam Cole's knee in this match. Not very drastic kind of a move that they did in this. So that kind of a tap out they did in a very quick manner, that had something, I would say, kind of an anticlimactic finish, I would say. And even if they had done the I mean in the steel cage man, if they had O'Reilly would have damaged the knee of Adam Cole and then have put on the heel hook, that would have been a good story, the way to tell, and have the tap out. So that's I'm completely okay with the result, Kyle O'Reilly getting the victory. And Kyle O'Reilly picked up the third fall, and he win the best out of three falls this match. And this was a great match, I would say. And not a very best 2 out of 3 falls that we have seen in the years of NXT, but definitely a great match to have a send off for Adam Cole. And they didn't look, I mean, they didn't weigh have booked him bad or something. And in the end of it, Adam Cole was being held by the medical officials, and that was it. A great match, and that this would be it. And we have been hearing the rumblings that Adam Cole is not signed as of this midnight, and he's going to be a free agent. I think that in a 1 month or so, maybe we could get Adam Cole getting signed to AEW, and that's what my thought is. We get into the main event, guys. Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. So I was excited for this match going into this, and Samoa Joe having that same gear, that black and red gear, that was great way to have a nostalgic feel. The time he had the matches in main roster, I actually remembered that. And the entrances were okay, I mean normal entrances. And again, Karen Cross was not with Scarlett, and that was a kind of a very missing thing that I thought about. And hopefully, if Karen Cross getting into the main roster permanently, he should be coming back with Scarlett. I think so. So this match, talking about this match was kind of a different from the NXT style that we see. NXT style have lot of action spaces, and I mean, lot of things going on, but this wasn't kind of a match. This was the pace of this match was kind of in a slow manner, but not a very slow, I would say. But it was in a manner, in autopilot mode, you can say. It was just going, and it was just going as you going. But and also these two competitors actually have the moves that they actually had in this match. They had kind of a repetitive move. Samoa Joe actually hit 2-3 times the enziguri, and it was more of a I mean the repetitive moves that they did. And they actually also had some submission maneuvers as well, but that didn't actually build up the drama to this match, I would say, because this match already was into the pace was kind of slow. That's what I said. But Karen Cross looked strong in the beginning. He hit the Doomsday Saito, and Cross was kind of a knock, and I mean, Joe was kind of in a knocked manner. But Joe, in this complete match, Joe was not a very 100%. And also, I'm not the one speaking about him. I mean, he's 100% or not. But while seeing that match, I thought about that. Joe isn't in that situation where he was in the NXT time, as well as in the main roster time as well. So that kind of the facial expression was pretty much clear that he was kind of having trouble. I mean, having the moves and all, especially when he had a suicide dive. After that, he was just laying down and just he also I don't think so. I don't think so. If I'm just nitpicking, he actually told the ref, kind of, he signaled his head kind of thing. So I don't think so he had I mean, time of a concussion. But they would have not continued. I'm sure about that. But Samoa's performance as a match in the, I mean, as a first, I mean, return match, I would say it was a pretty good performance, a great performance, I would say he did here. And a lot of good things that he did in this match, I would say. But not the way we know the Samoa Joe, I think so. The match was a really good match. That's what I would be sticking to it. And not a very excellent, fantastic match. And as I expected, no match actually surprised the Walter Ilya Dragunov match. And in the ending of this match, Cross went with a cross jacket, and Joe was powerful in this match. Joe was in the strongest booking in this match. And Joe got a knee, and Cross put Joe in the sleeper. Cross actually escaped the hold by ramming Cross into the turnbuckle. Cross hit Joe with a forearm to the back of the neck, and Joe ducked another forearm shot and gave Cross a Uranagi, and Joe gave Cross a Gamengiri and hit Cross with that muscle buster, and that was a great finish, I would say. And Samoa Joe defeated Karrion Cross and became the first ever three-time NXT champion. And great moment. And but I don't know. I mean, going forward, they're going to change the NXT, and that's the news going on. And again, another thing is that. I don't think so. Samoa Joe is going to be a very long champion like Karrion Cross or Finn Balor or Adam Cole or something. He's not going to have a very great. I mean, a very lengthy reign or something. I don't think so. After seeing this match, I'm really sure that. They would have been kind of a doubt if he is able to. I mean, there's no news kind of thing that Samoa Joe is having an injury or something. No news about that. But the whole match, I saw that he was not pretty very. I'm not just nitpicking. I'm just having in my opinion. But you would say that I'm just nitpicking, but no, this was a great match for what it was, I would say that. And that was a great moment for Samoa Joe, and I think so he's in 100% and hope so have a lengthy reign. But this is just my opinion that he's going to be defeated in 1 month or so in next NXT Takeover pay-per-view, I think so. And yeah, so that's the thing. And this was the pay-per-view, guys, and this was an awesome show. Nothing to say wrong about this show. All the matches were great, and including the main event as well. I would say a really good match to great match. And the match that stole the heart and stole the show was Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. Fantastic. And hell of a match, man. I would like to see one more match between them, if they have a rubber match or something like they are going to do with NXT UK Rampage Brown versus Joe Coffey thing. And I would like to see that kind of match between them. These guys as well. So that's it, guys. I hope to see now in, I mean, Karrion Cross is going to be called up, I think so. That's the scenario that we are looking for. And that's it, guys. I hope you like my review, and please share your thoughts as well about this pay-per-view, and what your favorite moments and what is your favorite matches in this pay-per-view. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, be safe, stay energetic, and peace.